So I'm a pretty big Christmas movie guy. I like It's a Wonderful Life. I watch that every year with my family. But today I'd like to talk about what may possibly be the worst Christmas movie ever made.
In today's video, we're going to be stopping another YouTuber right in their tracks.
Oh, wait, no, that never happened. Because I didn't grow up in 2018, the worst year to be a kid.
Their videos are so weird that I can't even, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say about them. They're so weird.
Ethan Klein is seen as a spokesperson of YouTube. This has also prompted Ethan to grow a giant, massive ego. He used to be one of my favorite YouTube channels back in the day, but now Ethan is a shadow of his former
Hello? No more. It is Joinen, and you might call this a commentary channel. Commentary channels, as the name would suggest, provide commentary on various things. They chat about stuff, they give their opinions. They're like strange future journalists that talk about stuff that most of the time don't really matter. H3H3, Drew Gooden, Danny Gonzalez, Jarvis Johnson, Pyrocynical, ImAllexx. We could go on. I'd even say that Slazo, Cuestar, Sorrow TV. I'd call them commentary channels if that's what we're doing at the moment. It's pretty easy to be lumped in as a commentary channel is what I'm getting at. They don't just gossip, they make the internet go round. They chat about topical things, help create discussion, they give and they take. But it seems that commentary channels might be detrimental to YouTube as a community. So why are commentary channels a problem? Now, every story starts somewhere, and we could take commentary channels way back, but I believe that this narrative starts with the Fupa King himself, Ethan Klein. H3H3 started off as, I suppose, what's called a reaction channel, giving fun, lighthearted commentary on stupid videos that they found online and whatnot. Over time, in tone, the channel changed a little bit, and people began to take issue with the direction that the channel was heading. My opinion is that as Ethan became more critical of the content he was responding to, his self-image began to change as well. And this was evidently reflected in the content. People could start to feel the difference in his videos. As he became more critical, the videos might have felt more nitpicky or mean, or regardless of what it was, they weren't the old H3H3. And some of the audience were repelled by this, saying that they're not interested in his videos anymore, and the rest of the audience just changed with him. But let's put that on hold for a second. I promise this is all relevant. It all ties together. Just you watch. Gotta get that watch time after my 5-minute video stint. You see, what I really wanted to title this video was Forced Negativity on YouTube. Unfortunately, that's probably not clickbaity enough to get views, and people might not even know or remember the reference. So let me catch everyone up to speed. 2 years ago, back in early 2017, PewDiePie struck up a huge discussion in the YouTube community.
This video is gonna be a little different. It's gonna be about forced positivity. I think it's either you're happy or you're depressed. But what if you're just fine? I would say I'm an in-betweener, you know? If someone asks, hey PewDiePie, how you doing? I'm fine. I don't think being happy all the time is something desirable at all.
Well, that is something I absolutely agree with. I think if you're happy all the time, you're probably not.
Now, if you watch my older videos, I might seem a lot happier. I might seem a lot chipper, a lot more positive. And that's because I faked it.
Well, here we are, getting into the juicy part of this discussion.
I would have to force positivity. And I think it's safe to say it worked. I think a lot of people on YouTube are drawn to positivity, and that's why they're forcing positivity on YouTube. He should just do it because I want to see him play Happy Wheels. To some extent, I think you're right. But also what I realized was that it's soul crushing to keep that up for a longer time.
As we mentioned with H3H3, the chipperness of his videos did decrease. In recent times, it looks like he's feeling genuinely happier, but there was a period in his channel where things didn't seem like they used to. And it kind of seems like by watching this video from PewDiePie's perspective, that the happiness was the fake part and the fineness is the real you, which may be true, and obviously in PewDiePie's situation, it is completely true because he's just being honest, talking about his own experiences.
And I realized if I'm gonna keep making videos, I'm just gonna have to be more honest. But it makes me happier and it makes me hate myself less. So hey, what can you do? And when I see other people, other YouTubers forcing positivity, it's so transparent to me what they're doing. They're forcing positivity to get views on YouTube.
Okay, that is the key point I want to mention in this video. YouTubers are forcing positivity to get views on YouTube. As a blanket statement, I probably agree. In fact, I actually made a video responding to this video 2 years ago. I don't remember what I said at all.
I agree. I agree with what he is saying. I agree that false positivity is lame. It's a little bit toxic and it can give people the wrong impression. You're giving people the wrong idea of what they can realistically expect from life. It doesn't matter what he does. People will watch. He can be as happy as he wants. He can be as over the top as he wants. That's how he got where he was. Now he's at a position where he can be as like this as he wants. He can be making videos about this kind of stuff and people care.
Setting aside my lack of camera presence and overall cringiness of this video, it seems that my key points were A, I agree with you, false positivity is lame, but B, you don't have to be positive because you're freaking PewDiePie and you can do whatever you want. Obviously, there are some great points in this video. I mean, PewDiePie's video. Not my one. And as a creator, it is well worth paying attention to this. You never want to be faking it so bad that you hate yourself for what you're doing on YouTube. But the key point is, it goes both ways. I mean, there's a whole slew of new creators on the platform that have been inspired by H3H3 and channels alike. And not only has this new wave of commentary channels inspired other people to create commentary, it has literally created jobs for people who now do this for a living, including me. But while I believe the forced positivity that PewDiePie is talking about relates to vloggers and gamers and maybe some other subcategories, I think commentary specifically struggles with a forced negativity. The majority of commentary content takes a negative tone. That's not to say the person presenting it is putting on a negative persona. It's more the content itself. Sure, not all commentary content is negative. There's some positive commentary, and there's even some negative commentary that is completely justified. But to help me illustrate my point, let me show you. Let's take, for example, Danny Gonzalez, a classic commentary channel. Relaxing with Tessa Brooks vlogs.
Today, I really wanted to dial it back a little bit. And one of my favorite ways to relax is by watching something that I like to call a boring vlog. The birth of daily vloggers like Casey Neistat and Logan Paul. Say what you will about Logan Paul, but his vlogs are very energetic. But sometimes we just want to relax. But my favorite boring vlogs when I'm really meditating and trying to relax are Tessa Brooks. So let's watch this video.
We already talked about this. He's friend zone.
So she's got this little exciting bit before the vlog starts. Usually it's something really crazy, but for Tessa Brooks, you know, she doesn't want to surprise you. She doesn't want to leave you on the edge of your seat.
So if your sarcasm tanks are a little bit empty, make sure to check out Danny's channel because you won't be disappointed. It's obvious that he's sarcastically relaxing to Tessa Brooks' vlogs when what he's saying is that they're terrible.
Kristen is very hangry and he's been kind of in a really bad mood. He's so hangry. So hangry. So hangry.
They're just talking. Hangry. He was hangry. He was hangry. He was hangry. They're just repeating what each other said.
Now everyone enjoys this. Danny has taken what is essentially boring content. He is explaining to everyone why it's boring in a comedic, sarcastic way. 1.6 million views later, we have a success. I mean, this is good stuff. This is what commentary is all about. And I sound sarcastic, but I'm not trying to be.
Pineapple, I have a Whopper. Summer barbecue pineapple Whopper.
Okay, wait, what? How dead of a meme can you make? How many years old is that meme? And that was an ad just now.
Summer barbecue pineapple Whopper at Hungry Jack's.
That is way too many syllables.
She's always out of focus. She's never in focus.
What's up, guys? Right now we're at
That, I'm sorry. That hat? What is that? Is she a sailor? Or a 19th century chimney sweep? What is that hat? What? I mean, really? Are you a jockey? The hat makes no sense.
Okay, the hat. I'm all for critiquing another YouTuber's videos. In fact, that's exactly what I'm doing now. But I can't tell if there's some double joke going on here where he is pretending to be so fashion conscious. But it really just seems like he's just offended buy a hat because he thinks it's ugly. She might make super boring vlogs. Her camera might be out of focus all the time. Her audio might be ruined in every shot because she doesn't care about the wind. But just making fun of someone's pretty normal hat seems a little bit like a playground insult.
Sell the hat, buy a new camera.
I mean, maybe if you're a fashion or a beauty channel and you're reacting to something, picking on a hat in context might make sense. But it feels like in this context, that's just a little bit needlessly negative.
The most common and annoying example of this is the live action reboot of an animated thing, which in my experience has a success rate of about 0% today. But as we discussed, what happens with anything that is even remotely good and 10 or more years old? It gets rebooted.
Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be allowed to make a video about how lame the Kim Possible movie looks. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't think of that. But while PewDiePie was complaining about false positivity on YouTube, you look anywhere in any section of the commentary community on YouTube and you will find 90-something% negative focused titles. Hey, what's going on? Hold on. You're... I'm just gonna go. What do you want? You know clickbait titles? Yeah. Which one of these do you think is best? I'm doing a video. Okay, hit me. This vlogger is awesome. Man, this up-and-comer is gonna be the next big thing. I watch an amazing video for 10 minutes straight. How could this guy... I'm gonna stop you right there. Why? What's wrong? You like something? Huh? You're talking about something on YouTube and you like it. Well, yeah, it's super cool. Have you seen this guy's channel? One work, man. Well, how about this? Yeah, I'm not sure that's gonna... Oh, look. It's already got 1 million views. Oh, yeah. So why are they just gonna ruin every show we used to like? Vin Diesel, King of Cringe. Jake Paul's beautiful disaster of a live show. The worst Fortnite channel on YouTube. Awful game ads on Instagram. These memes are awful. Bad Instagram. Life-ruining challenges. Trying trims. Awful pranks. Bad YouTuber music. Jake Paul fans are out of control. Trying 5-minute crafts. Awful life hacks. Trim is actually the worst channel on YouTube. I strongly disagree. Spoiled Billionaire responded to me. YouTube's worst prankster. The worst musically YouTubers. There's some examples from popular commentary channels. I would never do such a thing. The worst examples of idiots in cars. The worst YouTube rewind yet. YouTube crafts are useless. Okay, it seems we cannot get away from negative subject matters in the commentary space on YouTube. Because, let me be clear, I am guilty of this too. Comedy is just easier when you don't rule out making fun of everything. It's not even inherently bad. Just having been in this situation, I can tell you from experience that commentary like this simply comes from one of two reasons. Not having enough actual stuff to talk about, or two, you're just a bit of a jerk. Giving the benefit of the doubt, I'd mostly assume that it's the first option. People will often mistake it for the second option. There's plenty of justifiable stuff to react negatively to, but if you get stuck in the system of having to release lots of videos very often, and if your audience expects you to be commentating on things all the time, you start running a little bit low on stuff to make fun of. So you end up doing the old things again, or making fun of stuff that maybe doesn't need to be made fun of. But oh well, the problem really comes from how this affects the community as a whole. Now, I am not one at all for buying into this whole thing that a creator is responsible for the actions of their audience, even if influenced by your content. It's just that if you mainly make videos with a negative focus, your audience gets used to the negative tone. And just like with H3H3, they will either move on from it or they will adapt and become it. Just look at H3H3's comment section these days and you will see that people have started to talk about him with the same critical voice that he uses to talk about others. In the early days of my my channel, I made a video about the incels. And while I think it's an important topic that should be discussed, I did begin to notice how it shifted the tone of the discussion in my comments. And that is not just because of the incels themselves posted my videos on their forum, and so they all came running over to my channel, flaming with pure hatred. Just the types of discussion and the types of audience I was attracting wasn't exactly what I wanted, which was the turning point for me and the reason I started to pursue the whole wholesome brand is because I didn't want to be a part of that. I didn't want a negative community. And with the wholesome branding, that would encourage me to try focus on more wholesome content, and it would encourage my audience to try keep conversations wholesome. It would also just act as a firewall for people who aren't into wholesomeness. Monsters. But the topic of that and wholesomeness is a discussion for another video. Our job as YouTubers is to continue pushing out content. That means coming up with new ideas, and for commentators, new subjects of commentary. The constant pressure to keep releasing content means that we end up complaining about things that don't actually genuinely bother us. We're just creating content, sometimes at the expense of someone else. In this area on YouTube, complaining or critiquing something ends up more entertaining than just gushing and loving on something. So it breeds this environment of forced negativity. So it's important not to overly sell your happiness and be super chirpy and make your life seem so insanely amazing when it isn't. But it's just as bad to be on the opposite end of the spectrum and to just be complaining about everything. Now, I want to say this before everyone completely roasts me in the comments. I enjoy watching all of the channels I've mentioned and alluded to. I even enjoy the types of videos I'm talking about. I'm not even saying anything needs to change. For the most part, I don't think anything can change. If you find your niche on commentating on things, your audience just expects you to continue to commentate on things. I'd like to think I keep my content varied enough that people don't mind so much if it's particularly commentary based or not, but that is beside the point. I always attempt to create disclaimers like this because a YouTuber's voice and their actual opinions are not the same thing. When I make a video about the problem with commentary channels, I'm doing it because basically it's an interesting video idea. And most people would be lying if they said that that's not the motivation for the majority of their content. Once this starts paying for your life, you can't afford to be so selective. Commentary elevates issues that realistically we don't have that much of an investment in. But the audience picks it up and they carry out the crusade against Tessa Brooks and her hat. That wasn't the creator's intention. I guarantee you that Danny Gonzalez could not care less about Tessa Brooks' hat. As PewDiePie said at the start of his whole video on forced positivity,
Just know, alright, deep down, I don't care. Everyone just loves to create drama. I don't care, okay? I don't.
So in this disclaimer, after sitting through a whole video about how bad the current situation of commentary is, I want everyone to know that this is just a discussion piece. I'm not a hugely opinionated guy, and I don't want or even expect commentary channels to change their ways. It's more of a result of the platform, and content is usually driven by what the people want anyway. The very most I could hope for is to open up the possibility in people's minds, as an audience, that what you're watching is content. And you don't need to create bandwagons in order to spite those that a commentary channel has already roasted just for entertainment. Don't take any of this too seriously. We don't. Get your wholesome merch in the description below, and thank you to Phyllis and Saturn for retweeting my last video.
Thank you for watching my video, but now that it's done, please watch another one.